Good evening and welcome to Fellowships of the Spirit evening worship experience. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Mark Thomas and I'll be walking us through the experience this evening. This is the last of our Sunday evening online worship services experiences that we've been doing over the last couple of years. As of June 25th of this year, we will be resuming in-person worship here at our center here at 282 Dale Drive in Cassadaga at our Learning Center, which I will detail further for you later in the session this evening. But we're very excited about having the return to live worship here at Fellowships. Tonight, my talk is centered around a season of renewal. And as many of you know, I'm a huge fan of the works of Howard Thurman. And he had a particular passage he wrote decades ago, that I'd like to read as our entry to as our inspirational reading, but also our entry into our meditation this evening. The title of it is How Good to Center Down. And it reads like this: how good it is to center down, to sit quietly by oneself. The streets of our minds seethe with endless traffic. Our spirits resound with clashings, with noisy silences, while sometimes deep within hungers and thirsts for the still moment and the resting lull occur. With full intensity we seek, ere the quiet passes, a fresh sense of order in our living. A direction, a strong, sure purpose that will structure our confusion and bring meaning into our chaos. We look at ourselves at this waiting moment, the kinds of people we are. The questions persist. What are we doing with our lives? What are the motives that order our days? What is the end of our doings? Where are we trying to go? Where do we put the emphasis, and where are our values focused? For what end do we make a sacrifice? Where is my treasure, and what do I love most in life? Over and over the questions beat upon that waiting moment. As we listen, floating up through all the jangling echoes of our turbulence, there is a sound of another kind, a deeper note, which only the stillness of the heart makes clear. It moves directly to the core of our being. Our questions are answered, our spirits refreshed, and we move back into the traffic of our daily round with the peace of the eternal in our step. How good it is to center down. The words of Howard Thurman. So I use that as a beginning to our meditation this evening, an opportunity for us to center down, to get quiet, to go to that space inside each of us in the moment of our busyness of our days and our demands and the pressing things that are upon us, to step away for a few minutes this evening so that we can enjoy that stillness that refreshes, that builds us up. So if you would take in a few deep breaths, ones that even make your belly come out like the Buddha belly, and take that deep breath in, interrupt the breathing patterns that you've normally existing with, your customary ways in which you're breathing. So take in, become aware of where you are right now, where your world is outside and inside you right now, kind of an inside weather check. How are you doing inside? And as you start taking these deep breaths, allow some of that, whatever you got going on, to step aside for a minute, to slip away for a moment while you get quiet. Take in some more of those deep breaths. And then if you would, take in a breath that not only fills that belly out, lets the belly expand, but also the broadness of your chest expands as well. A couple of those deep breaths now too. And thirdly, a third part of the breath, there's lobes of your lungs that inflate up under your collarbones. Fill those up too. You don't normally do that, but I'd like you to fill those lobes up as well. So you feel your collarbones rise right up. And then exhale, a big, long, full exhale. Push all that exhalation out. Another deep, full, all three parts of the breath coming in. And a deep exhale out. So you allow yourself to settle into the quiet. I'd like you now to just imagine your thoughts are going to run. Let them be there. Your thoughts are your friend, not your foe. Let your thoughts run and just choose a focal point, a place for you to put your attention to interrupt the flow of whatever else you've got going on inside, whether it's paying attention to the in and the outflow of your breath, or maybe it's listening for a sound far away, or maybe it's just paying attention to a light you might imagine that's on the horizon that you could bring your attention to momentarily, and then go back to your thoughts. Pick one of those three, either the light on the horizon, the in and out flow of your breath, or the listening for a sound far away. Pick one of those three and alternate it with your thoughts, your sensations, the things you've got going on right now. And allow that seesaw to go back and forth between them. Not forcing anything, just allowing a flow to occur so that you might be able to step into the world of quiet that resides deep within you. I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Thank you. It's time to begin to bring yourself back to the awareness here on your screens. Slowly, gently start moving your hands and feet and bring yourself around to your full awareness again. Do an internal check now. What's different? Do you feel that stillness that Howard Thurman references, that quiet, that centering down? That's something we all need to do on a daily basis so that it's not just a once a week event, but it's something you do as an integrated part of your days, that you can bring that quietness that you feel right now into your everyday activity, and it'll enrich your total life as a result. I want to move now into my talk for the evening, and I'm excited about this evening, and the title of my talk is A Season of Renewal. This has been a year of transition here at Fellowships of the Spirit, beginning with the death of our foundational pastor and my wife, Reverend Elaine Thomas, who was a teacher, a pastor, a friend, a mentor to so many of you, and many who have moved out of this area and are no longer, at least not even online with us. Prior to her passing, Elaine, in consultation with the board of directors of fellowships, appointed me the foundational pastor and as well appointed Tom Kratzley as the director of the School of Spiritual Healing and Prophecy to fill out the school term this year. Tom and I have been picking up the pieces of the organization since that time. Elaine's passing was a big challenge for all of us, so many of us. But we've been working diligently over the months to work through our grief, all of us, like many of you, but also we have a sense of joy and relief that Elaine is no longer bound to the body that carried her through life, and especially over the 17 years of her fierce battle against cancer. Elaine's sightings have, as I refer to them, been reported in constantly ever since she left this plane of existence. No longer bound by time and space in the body, she seems to be continuing her healing mission quite strategically. Many have reported her counsel has come at key moments in their lives over the past few months. As you know, Howard Thurman, for many years, has been an inspiration for me. As I have moved through these trying months, I am reminded of this story of his about the jack pine seed. It's a story about a tree of the Pacific Northwest. The jack pine seeds are in the cones of the pine, and those seeds aren't released until there's a forest fire. And those seeds are held tight within that cone. It's very rare that a jack pine seed will escape. But in the experience of an intense forest fire, those seeds are released. In essence, it requires massive destruction in the forest to generate new conditions for growth in that same forest. As Thurman wrote about the jack pine seeds, it's not too far afield to suggest that there are things deep within the human spirit that are firmly embedded, dormant, latent, and inactive. But there they remain until our lives are swept away by a forest fire. The experience releases something that has been locked up within all through a year's period. If it has been something that calls to the deepest things in life, we may, like the jack pine seed, grow tall, straight against the sky again. So I suggest as well, that was the words of Thurman, but I suggest it's not too far afield to suggest that there are things deep within this fellowship and fellowships of the Spirit that are firmly embedded, dormant, latent, and inactive as well. The work and the legacy and the lineage of the teachings, going back to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and his wife in England, and to their student, Reverend Edith Sandy Wendling, and her student, the Reverend Elaine Thomas. That lineage by nature lives on in and through the fellowship, and especially through its school graduates and its faculty. The work goes on in and through each of us here at Fellowships. With the death of Elaine comes new life. With the loss comes opportunity for growth. So I ask you in this season of renewal, what is your Jack Pine seed moment? Where do you take what has been given to you to your next level of growth? What are you willing to do to be instruments in a new way, in a further way of God's grace in this world? It's time. It's now. The Jack Pine seed moment is upon all of us here at Fellowships of Spirit. And it's time we all seize that moment and move forward. And may God bless you in the seizing of this moment. Thank you. This ends the particular talk I have this evening, inspirational talk moment. But I would like to talk now about all the things that we've been working on behind the scenes here at the Fellowship for the last several months. A number of us working diligently to put together our program offerings for the year 2023. I'm excited to announce as well that we will continue to offer a number of in-person as well as Zoom only, as well as hybrid programming, which is both available to those who want to watch or participate on Zoom, but also participate those who might want to, come in and be in person at the same time. And to that end, I'd like to walk through a few of these offerings that we now have to bring forward this year. First of all, I want to talk about a new set of offerings that we've already begun, and I'm very excited about. They began with Michelle Paternitti's Wednesday nights, our development circle that we had them in years past, but we've resumed them, and Michelle is leading those here at our center. All of these weeknights at the Lake program are in-person only. There's no Zoom option for them. We have already also begun, Gail Lynn began her Healing Bowl sessions this past Thursday. Don Scott will be alternating with Gail on nights and providing Qigong lessons, the Qigong experience. And then on Tuesday nights, starting in the middle of this month, Nancy Lombardo will be bringing to us a yoga program that she's been doing for years. And so these weeknights, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays, we'll have programming here at the center, and all of them in person. And to find out more information about all of these programs, any of the programs I speak of, please go to our website. That's where you can also check out the details. These are pay-at-the-door experiences. There are some options for paying for the entire series on the weeknights at the Lake, but check our website out for the details on that particular those programs. We're very excited to have that. And so now I want to talk a little bit more about our website and some changes with that. We have added a new thematic structure to the website this year. So we have several themes that we've started. Weeknights at the Lake is one of them, as I've already covered, but intuitive tools is the next theme, healing body, mind, and spirit. And then general spiritual studies. These themes that we have and offering on our website will allow you to go to your specific interest area and delve into it. The website is also set up so you can look chronologically through the entire program of the year. But this way, if you have a specific interest and you want to delve into it. And then the final thematic we have is for our graduates, and I'll speak a little bit about that in a moment. So first of all, intuitive tools, Michelle's program that I've already mentioned, the development course, but we also have Brad Young coming in doing dowsing training with us on June 17th. We have Jill Mattson, who's been one of our instructors here at Fellowships of the Spirit for years, is coming back. We have Cassandra Butler with her astrology work that she does, and Jane Howard will be doing a program in the fall on labyrinths and the construction of labyrinths. And so we have those along with many other programs in our intuitive tools selection. And I would invite you to go to the website as well for those. Oh, and one more, John Hepner. I want to speak about John. John is one of our faculty members from the school. He'll be coming in from Indiana. He's an expert on the history of spiritualism. And not only that, he's an incredible teacher of mediumship, and he is a tremendous healer in the work that he does with his mediumship. I can't recommend John enough. So all of these programs add to the depth of your intuitive tools, and we'll provide some very, very good experiences for you this summer and fall. Next thing I want to talk about is the healing body, mind, and spirit. You know, one of the key focuses of Fellowships of the Spirit is that our work is about healing, whether it's message bearing healing or it's hands-on healing or other means. This year we've got Diana Burney returning. She's one of our great teachers that we've had in the past coming back, and she has a couple of different courses on spiritual clearings. We have Hank Satala coming in with a course on healing with sound vibrations, and we have Jill Matson doing a couple more programs too, one on angels and one on sound. And Tom Kratzley's restructuring that he offers annually in the fall will return again this year too. And that's a tremendous program for those who are wanting to really do some deep dives into the healing process. We have Janice Wilton bringing in the emotional freedom technique. We have Bach Flower Remedy program this year, one of the programs that we're very excited about adding to our lineup. And we have meditation for families we're adding this year. And then in addition to that, Ryan Gauthier, who is going to be here on the June 24th, will be coming in from Michigan. He's one of our mentors from the school, a graduate of our school, does a tremendous job, and he's very highly trained and certified in many Eastern healing modalities. We'll be doing a course on Eastern healing methods. We have Don Scott doing some more Qigong for a day long. And so these are programs, and Tom Kratzley doing a program on healing using elementals. So we've got a very broad-based program in healing going on this year as well. And then spiritual studies is a broader category of courses that we are offering. Some of these are duplicate with some of the other programs, but I want to highlight a few of these as well. First of all, our showcase course that is a spiritual insight training is going to be offered again in July and in August this summer. And Angie Apt, myself, Reverend Apt, and myself will be teaching that program. And that is a necessary prerequisite for going to our School of Spiritual Healing and Prophecy for those that are interested in that program. We have a number of other courses that are available through Joanne Copley-Negro will be doing a course working with nature and working within different ways to advance that. And our own Nancy Lombardo from Lilydale, who's the president of Living Spirit Church in Lilydale, who was a retired police officer, is doing a course in how to deal with stressful conditions like how do you deal with suicide, and how can you help people deal with the problems that come up in events that are tragic and traumatic, and how to handle those kind of things. We also have a course in Feng Shui that'll be offered this fall as well. So we have a host of programs that are going to be coming that are now on our website. And if you're not already getting emails from Fellowships of the Spirit and you would like, I ask you to contact Fellowships of the Spirit at our website down below, or call our office at 716-595-2159, where you can, in fact, leave a message of how to get yourself put on our email list, because we'll be emailing out information every week now to let folks know the courses that are coming up for us here at Fellowships of the Spirit. So that's, in a nutshell, the course offerings. We've got a broad base offering. We invite you to come in and sign up for our courses. And I want to talk a little bit more about our change in our adding of our in-person worship services that'll begin again on the 25th of June at 7 p.m. We used to start at 6 p.m. We're moving into 7 p.m. We're completely changing the format of our worship services from what was done in the past. We're calling this a Vespers format service. Vespers services are generally a little shorter than standard spiritualist worship services. Vespers, we like to bring the service in at around 45 minutes in the evening. It's a time of reflection on the day and the week that has just passed, but it's also a time for setting a tone for the coming days and the coming week ahead. This is a very different approach. It's a very intimate format for worship. It's a time for personal reflection, a time for sharing your joys and your concerns. And we'll have healing exercises related to those concerns. The program will include meditation and inspirational talk, prayer, song, and this healing activity I mentioned. And then one of the most popular aspects to worship here at Fellowships is our fellowship hour afterwards, where people get together and visit, and we'll have food and beverages so that people can socialize and connect. And that's an important part of setting the tone for a week as well for everybody that comes. So that will renew on the 7 p.m. on the 25th of June. We're also going to have themes that our speakers will be touching in on, and we'll ask our participants to really focus in on the weeks that we are in worship, and you'll know what those themes are. The first one is renewal. I touched on that this evening, the season of renewal, but we'll be using several weeks that the topic will be renewal. Another theme that we'll be touching on this summer will be forgiveness, and then the third one, gratitude. So these themes we think will help folks focus not just at being at worship, but also the time in between, so that you really can maximize the use of these Vespers experiences that we will share together. Now, we will no longer be broadcasting live, and I know some of you will be disappointed to know that, but what we will do is we will record the inspirational talks by our speakers of the week, and then later on we'll be posting those to our social media sites like we do with the evening worship that we've done over the last couple of years. So there will be an opportunity for you to hear those speakers talk, but that's the only portion of the service that we'll be recording and then later posting. So people have been asking, how do I get involved? How do I stay connected? How can I be more engaged with Fellowships of the Spirit? And we'd like to invite you to do that. First of all, we invite you to come for worship. We invite you to take advantage of our many programs, sign up for our programs and attend them, and or refer people to us who might have an interest in our programs. We have brochures that we can get out to you. If you let the office know, we can get those to you so that you can help us distribute those to people who might have an interest. Secondly, we need volunteers. We have, with this larger program that we're offering this year, this expanded program offerings, we need folks to volunteer to help staff these events. And if you'll contact our office at fellowshipspirit.org, as you see on the screen, you can let them know in the office. The staff will then reach out to you and give you the opportunity to sign up for some of these staffing opportunities that we have here going forward, for not only for the courses, but we also have opportunities for your participation in our worship service as well. And then thirdly, the last thing I want to mention is we can use donations. Donations of your funds is always appreciated. It helps us with the mission of Fellowships of the Spirit. We are very much in need of financial support from anybody who can bring that to us. We reach a lot of people, not only through courses, but through our worship and through our other outreaches we do into the community here in Cassadaga and around the area. So if you have funds that you can share with us and help us advance our mission of reaching more people, we appreciate that very much. So thank you for your joining with us this evening. It has been our pleasure to offer these once a month Sunday opportunities to you. And we are very much looking forward to seeing you in the building with us, sharing in the fellowship feeling that we have here, that people always express to us as they walk in the door. They feel the difference in their lives. We have transformational worship experience. We have transformational courses. And it's not just information here. We want you to be moving forward in your life. And we create those opportunities for your jack pine seeds to bust out and for you to take on new growth and new opportunity in your lives as well. We so much appreciate all the support and all the folks who have joined with us over these last several years in our worship experience online, and we'll continue to offer you our talks that are going to be coming up on. They'll come up on our pages on Facebook and YouTube, and we'll make those available to you without charge as well going forward. So we want to thank you all for your continued support, and we ask that you be instruments of God's grace in this world, wherever that is called from you and for you to do. We ask that you be that blessing in people's lives. Thank you, and have a lovely evening and a wonderful week.